Alright guys, so the purpose of today is to give you a quick little overview of what you're going to receive in the kit for this camera kit and smartphone mirroring, and the general overview process of what you're going to do to put it in. So to start with, tools you'll need, basically, panel remover and a couple picks. You'll also need a 7mm socket and ratchet and or drill, which I forgot to grab to show you, but you should have that. Inside the kit, I'm going to go through these one by one. This is your HDMI USB port that you'll be installing here if you have the full center console. You can put it wherever you want, but I recommend eliminating one of these guys. If you don't have this, you still have these somewhere up here, I would still recommend eliminating one of these, but you can just drill the hole and put it wherever you'd like at the same time as well. So that's that. This is the main harness here, which I'm going to go over each of these harnesses one by one. Basically, this will plug into the module itself. Can't really mess that up. And then these have a specific spot they're going to. So you will be going to the HMI, which sits behind the glove box. I'll show you taking that out here in a second. You're working with the 16-pin plug here. So unplug the factory guy there, plug this one in. The one you just unplugged from the factory will go right back there. This other connection on here, there's two others. The bigger one is going to go to the radio, which I'll point out here in a second. The 20-pin connector behind the screen. Alright? And then last but not least, you need to get this connection into your center armrest. Back side of the USB port in here. So that's where the picks come into play. Just gonna take your pick, right angle pick, kind of go in here, and then on this side as well. This guy now just pops right up. Unplug here. My harness is just gonna plug right back in with the T on the other side. And the easiest way to access that, if you get a long zip tie or wire to feed right down in here, you can actually take the side of this console off, and I'll show you here in a second, and then just pull the wire from this way and then up through with your wire or zip tie to plug it in. Makes it nice and easy. And that is the actual harness already installed in the vehicle right now, so that's going to be the easiest way to do it. So to start with, guys, module placement. If you have the full center console up here, I will ship it with it already having the Velcro on the back side. So I'll show you a nice little place you can put it right there. If you don't have this full center console, you're gonna have to put it behind the glove box, which I'll show you here in a second. So again, panel tool. This guy's been apart so many times it's gonna come right up. Yours is gonna be a little bit more tight. And I've already unplugged the connections back there. So I am gonna point out a couple things here you need to be focused with. These guys right here on this plug are not fun to get out. So pay attention to the very small little depression tab on each side of these. When they plug in, you got to get in there with your pick and press those down, and then they will pull out. But these are not fun, just gonna warn you. They plug in right there. The rest of your cigarette 12-volt lighter ports. Okay. Back side of my HDMI USB plug already installed. Again, this guy right here. It's gonna simply go down and plug into the USB that comes with the module and the HDMI that come with the module. So these kits, guys right here, HDMI, USB, HDMI right into the side of the module. You could also, in theory, just eliminate this cable and plug directly in with this extension right here. Or if you want to use the cable that came with it, plug that right in there. It'll read it either way. The USB is going to have to be plugged into the cable that comes with it, that also plugs into the side of the box here. These are keyed. They're a certain size. They'll only go into one spot. Take your time and make sure you're plugging it in where it goes. Don't try and force anything. It should slide right in nice and easy. The other harnesses that are going to come in the kit are for your camera. Rear view camera, side camera and front camera, they're all labeled, guys. You can't miss it up. This one I will label. This one works for your left camera and or audio video input. This module will take audio input and composite video input. So if you wanted to install, say, a slave DVD player like we have right here, you could also utilize this module to pull it up. We can talk about the different functions of that and how to make it work. But if you're just using it strictly for camera, this will be your left input, camera input. You won't worry about the audio. Again, USB will just plug right into there. So those are your main connections there. Kit's gonna ship two ways, guys. So I'm gonna cover this with you when you order over the phone or when you call in for it. If you're placing an order online, that's why it's very important to put your correct VIN in there, because I do look at your VIN number to see what you're equipped with. These cables can connect two different ways. The majority of you are going to be behind the screen, which I'll go over here in just a second. However, if you have this factory overhead screen, the one that flips down from the roof, you will be connecting at the HMI, not the screen. I'm going to go over that again. 90% of you are going to be connecting at the screen with these cables. I will have them labeled as well. If you have the factory screen that flips down from the roof, go ahead and show it. This guy here, you'll be making these connections at the HMI. So let's go over that real quick. First of all, placement for the module. You can see a perfect little spot for it right down here, guys, if you have the full center console. If you don't have the full center console, again, I've removed all the screws, but these are T15 Torx all the way around. That's how easy the glove box comes out. Your HMI sits right here, guys. So you're just gonna reach up here, unplug that factory connector, plug this guy in. If you have the factory overhead screen, your USB connection will be made at the blue port right here. So unplug the factory blue, plug my male in. The other side is female. That factory cable you just unplugged is going to plug right back in there. You can route your cables just kind of up and over through here. Now, for the rest of you guys who don't have that screen, again, I've already got everything undone. Four screws, 7 mils. This guy pops off. This is the connection I'm talking about. So, for you guys that do not have the overhead screen, unplug the micro USB that's right there. Mine will plug in. Okay. The one you just unplugged will plug right back in here. This will not work though if you have the overhead screen. Overhead screen, HMI. That's the only connection at the screen. You do not mess with the small one here. The other one's right here at the radio. This 20 pin right here. So the bigger of the two plugs on my harness will come up here, unplug, plug mine in. Other side, which is right here, we'll plug right back in, factory connector, right back in. That's all she wrote on the connections, guys. One last thing I am going to point out that is very important. Each kit will ship with one of these guys here. This is crucial. It does plug into your auxiliary port. Don't think it's just in there because it's actually needed. I'm gonna plug it in right here. That's how you get your audio to come through. So, one quick second here. Again, USB in. You're going to access your audio by going to media, whether you're on HDMI or USB. But now, if you don't have this plugged in though, no audio. It's where your audio comes into play. Plug back in, audio's back. This is critical. So don't let this fall out and lose it. Otherwise, you're gonna have to go to the store and get yourself one. So that should pretty much cover the connections and the install overview. If you have any questions, of course, just give me a text. I'd be happy to get you through it. Thanks so much.